Wolfman is the new horror film by Leigh Whannell. The logline is as follows. A family at a remote farmhouse is attacked by an unseen animal, but as the night stretches on, the father begins to transform into something unrecognizable. Mild spoilers for this film ahead. I won't be spoiling anything you haven't seen outside the trailers, but if you want to go into this movie blind, don't watch this. Wolfman is a decent film. It has some solid scares, good body horror, passable characters, and a handful of great scenes. But it does have a fair share of problems I want to dig into. First off, this movie has a protagonist switch halfway through, which in theory is great, but in execution is poor. As you may have gathered from the plot synopsis, the main guy turns into the Wolfman, and another character becomes the central focus. However, this new character is super underdeveloped, as we learn nothing of note about them, which results in them coming off as very surface level. This was my biggest problem with the film because I ended up not really caring what was going to happen in the end. The stuff that focuses on the Wolfman transformation was really great, and the best part of the movie, but it's used very sparingly. I understand why they did this, but it results in the film really dragging in the middle, and the plot feeling drawn out because not much is happening for a lot of the second act. Some of the themes of the story also felt pretty undercooked. I saw what they were going for, and they set it up really well, but they missed the mark at the end. It's lacking a bit of closure, and it left me wanting more. I'm not sure if it was just my theater, but this film was really dark, and I had trouble seeing what was going on in many parts. Again, this might just be my local theater, but it affected my viewing experience. This also ties into how they used the locations. For a film taking place in the beautiful Oregon wilderness, they don't utilize the setting very well. Most of the movie takes place inside a boring house, which felt like a missed opportunity to use the natural eeriness of the woods at night. Also, as a side note, I accidentally inhaled a popcorn kernel into my windpipe while watching this movie, so that also affected my viewing experience. So in conclusion, Wolfman is a passable horror movie that has a few good scares and interesting body horror. However, the characters are very hit or miss, the themes are a little undercooked, and the plot is spread too thin. This is a pretty dark movie, both plot-wise and cinematography-wise, because it was hard to see what the hell was going on for a lot of the runtime. It was a bit of a disappointment compared to Leigh Whannell's previous work, but if you're a horror or monster movie fan, it's worth checking out. I'm giving it a high 3 stars. It is the best movie of the year so far, but also the worst, so there's that.